Over the past couple of centuries, archaeologists have come across millions of artifacts belonging to ancient civilizations. While most of the artifacts have been identified and accurately dated back to their time, there are some mysterious out-of-place artifacts that no one seems to have a clue about. These artifacts are usually found in unusual places, and they challenge the conventional historical chronology. Such artifacts are often considered to be too advanced to have been created during the ancient times, and they've often sparked debates among archaeologists and historians about who created them and where they came from. So today we'll be taking a look at 5 mysterious out-of-place artifacts. Bat Creek Inscription. In 1889, a stone tablet with a mysterious inscription was discovered in a small mound located near Knoxville in Tennessee, United States. It was part of more than 40,000 artifacts discovered as a result of a large-scale excavation work carried out to explore the prehistoric mounds in the area. The archaeologists initially thought the inscription on the tablet was written in Cherokee alphabet that was created during the 17th century, and was adopted by the Cherokee Nation. However, a few decades later, a couple of researchers noticed that the inscription on the Bat Creek stone resembled ancient Semitic writing. Cyrus Gordon, who was a specialist in the ancient Semitic languages, asserted that the language on the stone tablet was not Cherokee. Instead, it was a Paleo-Hebrew language. According to him, the tablet was inscribed somewhere between the 1st or 2nd century AD. Gordon also tried to work out the alphabets, and according to his interpretation, they translated to for Judea. After a few years, some other researchers also gave their interpretations which were quite similar to that of Gordon's. Some of these interpretations translated to for the Chaldeans, only for Judea and only for the Chaldeans. Many researchers differ from the theory that the inscription was in Paleo-Hebrew language. Another theory believed by some historians suggests that the inscription is in a Welsh language. They believe that the ancient Welsh Colburn alphabets written on the tablet translates to Madoc the ruler he is. They suggest that the Bat Creek stone was actually discovered in the tomb of Prince Madoc, who sailed to America in the year 1170 AD. Another theory links the tablet to Madoc Morfan, the brother of King Arthur II. He is believed to have sailed to America in 562 AD. Some recent investigations carried out by the Smithsonian Institute suggest the inscriptions on the Bat Creek stone could be a forgery. The artifact was most probably inscribed with what seemed like Masonic symbols a few days before its discovery. Such frauds were very popular during the second half of the 19th century. Although the majority of the archaeologists now share the view of the Smithsonian Institution, some archaeologists still believe the Bat Creek stone is a real ancient artifact. Today, the Bat Creek stone is in the property of the Smithsonian Institution, and is kept at the Museum of the Cherokee Indian in Cherokee, North Carolina. The Los Lunas Decalogue Stone. Lying near the village of Los Lunas in New Mexico, there is a large stone on the side of the hidden mountain. The stone has a solid inscription carved into a flat panel. This stone is called the Commandment Rock, or the Los Lunas Mystery Stone. According to historical records, the stone was first discovered in 1933 by an archaeologist named Frank Hibben. He was taken to the site of the stone by a guide who had seen the stone as a boy during the 1880s. When Frank Hibben saw the stone, it was covered with patination and lichen. It was very difficult to read the inscription. However, after uncovering the stone and examining the inscription, he was convinced it was ancient in nature. According to experts, the inscription on the stone is written in the Phoenician script, and it could be 500 to 2,000 years old. However, some archaeologists have argued that the inscription on the stone could be the Paleo-Hebrew script, and that it resembles the ancient Phoenician script, and was still in use until the 1870s. So there is a possibility that the stone could be a modern-day hoax, and the inscription was made during the 1800s. However, there is a lack of consensus about the inscription. Some people believe that it is an authentic ancient inscription, while others believe it to be a hoax. The lost lunar stone weighs more than 80 tons, and therefore was never moved to a museum. The inscription on the stone is being cleaned multiple times by visitors, and as a result the possibility of an accurate scientific study has been reduced drastically over the years. Currently, this ancient artifact or modern day hoax is open for visitors, and every year thousands of people visit the site to see the mysterious stone that no one seems to know much about. Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone. One of the most famous out-of-place artifacts is the Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone. It's believed the stone was discovered in 1872 in Meredith, New Hampshire, United States. This stone was accidentally found in a dug hole for a fence post. The discovery was credited to Seneca Ladd, the businessman who had hired the workers for the digging. Seneca Ladd died in 1892 and the stone was passed to his daughter, who later donated it to the New Hampshire Historical Society. The mystery stone has an egg-like shape and different symbols carved on it. Some of the figures carved on the stone include corn, strange arrows, spirals, a celestial object and various dots. The stone is around 4 to 4.2 inches tall, and is around 2.5 inches thick. It has a hole that goes from the top to the bottom. A number of studies have been carried out to find the origins of the stone, but nothing conclusive can be said about its origins. According to one theory, the Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone actually commemorates a treaty between two tribes. Another theory about the stone suggests that it's a thunderstone. In 1994, an archaeologist named Richard Boesvet conducted a borescope analysis of the stone. According to his findings, the holes in the stone did not seem to be created by any prehistoric North American civilization. Instead, it seemed as if the holes were created by modern-day power tools, of which would have been available during the 19th and 20th century. According to analysis, this stone is a type of quartzite. The San Pedro Mountain Mummies. In October 1932, two prospectors were digging in search of gold in the San Pedro Mountains located in Carbon County in Wyoming. While digging, they came across a vein of gold in a thick rock. They blasted the rock hoping they would discover large reserves of gold. However, what they saw next was quite unexpected. Behind the blasted rock there was a small room. It was 14 feet tall, 14 feet wide and 15 feet deep. The room contained a very well preserved mummy of a tiny human being. The mummified tiny human had wrinkled brown skin, and it seemed to be sitting with crossed arms and legs. The strange thing about the mummy was that it was only 16.5 centimeters tall. The experts examined this mummy using X-rays, and determined that it was a body of an infant. Due to the cranial deformity, the mummy had the appearance of a tiny adult human being. The DNA testing revealed that it was a Native American, and that the body was mummified sometime during the 16th century. The mummy was first kept as an attraction at a store in Wyoming. After a while, it was bought by a local businessman named Ivan T. Goodman. Later, it was passed on to Leonard Wadler, who was a New York-based businessman. Strangely enough, the mummy went missing after a few years, and the present location of this mysterious mummy is not known. A reward of $10,000 was announced to anyone who would find the missing mummy. However, no one seems to have any clue about the whereabouts of the mummy. The Arkham figures. In 1944, a German shopkeeper stumbled upon thousands of mysterious figurines near Arkham in Mexico. According to his claims, he found more than 30,000 figurines with the help of a local farmer. Over the years, archaeologists have found many figurines belonging to various civilizations in different parts of the world. However, these figurines challenge the current human knowledge about the history of the world. These mysterious figurines appear to depict humans and dinosaurs living together. Also, some of the figurines resemble aliens and flying saucers. Initially, the experts thought the figurines dated back thousands of years, and one of the studies showed them to be around 4,500 years old. However, over time more studies were conducted, and the idea that these were ancient figurines was widely dismissed by archaeologists. In 1952, Charles DePeso was an American archaeologist who examined the figurines. He found that the surface of the artifacts did not have any signs of weathering or dirt collection in the cracks, as according to him they were not thousands of years old as previously thought. Charles DePeso used his observations to conclude that the artifacts were not ancient, and he also stated the family which provided these figurines were famous for making figurines. He also claimed the family made these figurines after watching characters in various comic books and movies. Further studies were carried out during the 1970s, and it's believed the artifacts were made during the 1930s or 1940s, a few years before they were discovered. Despite the fact that the archaeological community has developed a consensus that the figurines are fake, there are still many people who believe the figurines are ancient in nature, and point to the relation of some ancient civilization with dinosaurs and aliens. So what do you think of these 5 mysterious out-of-place artifacts? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.